Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruchak Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles, bishops, and elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom also to the Akim pushing this word in sincerity and in truth, and to the speckled bird scattered throughout the four corners of the world, and to the few sisters who are listening. To you I say Shalom. Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson on the brother Khadashia from the GMS Chicago camp, coming back at you with another quick update on World War III, and also really going into the situation with Trump. All right, because right now the whole world is really roasting Trump. The whole world is really pointing out the pride of this devil and of the United States and their military action in Iran. All right, in these past 3 weeks, with everything going on with Iran, okay, it's been really exposing the United States as a weak country, man. All right, and before I get to this video of this Elamite, I want to play these other videos that I got right here, because you got Iran basically making videos about Donald Trump in AI. So the whole world is roasting this devil, man. All right, because it's not just Iran that's making videos like this. You got Germany, which Germany, I believe, is part of the EU. Okay, so you got all these different countries that are allied with America also making fun of America. You got Iran making videos of America and Trump with AI making fun of this devil, man. The whole world is literally exposing Esau, Edom, and laughing at them. These people have become a joke. Okay, 30, 40 years ago, you wouldn't even have seen other countries laughing at the United States president. But this is where America is right now, man. They're being exposed, and the whole world, they have really lost their status in the world as a superpower, man. They have lost the narrative. They have lost control of the war. They're losing. Okay, and everybody's starting to catch up on this devil, man, and they're being exposed. This is Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. And that's what's going on with Esau Edom right now. The whole world is shamefully spewing these devils and exposing them for how wicked they are, how disgusting they are, being involved in the Epstein files, okay, showing you how much of a hypocrite they are. They're the ones that sat down with Iran to continue these peace talks, and in the middle of those peace talks, they attack Iran and began this whole situation that the whole world is going through right now, which one of the situations that's transpiring from this war with Iran is gas prices are going up and Americans are suffering because of it. And now that's causing more and more people to be angry. All right. And the whole world, because of this, you got countries speaking up against Trump and shamefully spewing this devil, calling him out for how stupid and prideful and dumb he really is, man. You got videos of Trump going before the world and telling them that they won the war, when that's not true. That's not true at all. You're spending millions and millions of dollars, trillions, billions. Okay? I believe the national debt thing, whatever, I believe it was like 38 trillion. Now it went up another trillion. So this war is very expensive for the United States of America. And not only that, but they're not getting any help from their allies, NATO allies. They're begging for help and they're not getting any help. And then after they begged for that help, they're turning around and saying, yeah, well, we don't need your help anyways. Well, but you were begging for the help. Okay? Esau is looking bad right now, man. They're being exposed so terribly. And it's hilarious. We're literally watching the downfall of our enemy. We're watching them get exposed day by day. This is beautiful, man. All right, and I just wanted to play this quick video because Iran is basically making a lot of AI videos of Trump, man. Look at this one. Let me put the.
There's another video that apparently Iran media has posted. I didn't even. It's a Lego animation of fucking Donald Trump. What the fuck is going on? Yeah. You crossed the ocean just to find your grave. Sacrificed your own boys for a lie. Listen. Yeah. Yeah. Make America great again. Yo, tails, this shit crazy. Yeah. Make America great again now. You will see what happens, yeah. Watch this. Sacred defense, we protecting the soil. While you sacrifice soldiers to pay for your spoil. You ran the globe, sitting on your throne. Now we turning every base into a bed of stone. It's a slaughterhouse, a trap you couldn't see. Welcome to the graveyard of your vanity. The secrets are leaking. Is rising.
They said your secrets are leaking, and then it's just a bunch of it says the Epstein files are leaked.
We locked on the target. Breaking fuck the news. Here's another.
Hold on, I'm gonna play that one more time because that's funny as hell, man. They're really making AI videos of this devil, man. You're a joke. Esau, Edom, and your country, it's a joke. Nobody's taking this country seriously anymore, man. Like, for real, this is Obadiah 1 and 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The whole world hates you, Esau. And the whole world is starting to wake up to who you really are. They know that your identity is not really the so-called white man. People are starting to wake up to the fact that you are Edomites, and that the people that you're helping over there in the land of Israel, that they're Edomites as well. This whole power structure that is ruling over the earth right now is ran by the biblical Edomites. And the scriptures talk about how they would be the end of the world. All right. So it makes sense that they would be at the forefront of every major power structure. And now we're seeing those power structures collapse and be sloppy and make action, perform actions that before the whole world are being judged as wrong. The whole world is looking at America and making fun of it. They're all criticizing their actions. Everybody's now got their 2 cents on what America is doing. They're all, they have their own news section about Trump now. Everybody's starting to point the finger at this devil and really look at them sideways, man. And I believe, man, really, honestly, that's one of the greatest things that we could ever witness, man. Watching our enemy be exposed. Watching him be shown before the whole world for the devil that he really is. Because us, the Israelites, we understand that this is our enemy. But the whole world has been duped into thinking this is the good guy, when he's really the antagonist of this story. Esau, Edom is the antagonist. They're not the protagonist. They're not good white people. They're not good Christian white people. All right, these are Edomites, the biblical Edomites that were prophesied to rule over the earth in these last days, and they would be the end of the world. And we're watching their end. We're watching their government collapse. We're watching them make stupid decisions. We're watching their allies now turn on them. We're watching their once great economic spot in the world now be crushed because of the Strait of Hormuz being closed off to them. And now they're being told that the only way to pass through the Strait of Hormuz is if you buy oil with the yuan, all right, which is actually ultimately going to help Chinese and Russian economies, which America right now, their economy is terrible. The other day I went to go pump gas and it was damn near $5. Right by where I live, it's $4.50. But when you start to go to the north side on, Fullerton, okay, up there by the north side, you go on Fullerton in Chicago, it's about $4.99, almost $5. Okay, and then the diesel prices are $5. In some places, it's $6, man. So America is suffering right now, all because of the actions of a stupid little boy. All right, Trump is a child, man. The scriptures talk about how, a child, children would be your rulers. All right, that's those Edomites. These Edomites are base men. They're as children. There's no wisdom in them, okay? And they're being exposed for how stupid they really are. And it's all prophecy, man, that they would be ruling at the end of the earth, at the end of the world. All right, not the end of the earth, Salakia, but you know what I mean, the end of the world, which is really the end of this age, the end of this current rulership that's on earth. This is Second Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So, Esau, you're the end of the world. You were set up for this very purpose, to bring in the end. All right? And now you're being exposed for how prideful and how stupid you really are. Okay? It's beautiful to witness, man. Let me play this one more time.
Video that apparently Iran media has posted. I didn't even, it's a Lego animation of fucking Donald Trump. What the fuck is going on? Yeah. You crossed the ocean just to find your granny. Sacrificed your own boys for a lie. Listen.
Hey, and you know what? They are sacrificing their military because there's so many videos on the internet with caskets of American soldiers coming back, and they're being told that they cannot make a public funeral. They're being told that they have to make a private funeral and that they cannot go public with that information. So you got soldiers, Marines, whatever part of the branch of the military that they're in and is being sent over there to go fight this war, they're coming back dead. And I know this for a fact as well because one of my friends in the world is in the military, and every day that one of those soldiers dies, he shares it because he be following the pages of these different military branches, and every time these pages post somebody dead, he goes ahead and shares it, and I be seeing it. So there's a lot of soldiers that are dying, and it's not being talked about. So Iran is taking shots at this devil, even though it's a Lego video. There's a lot of truth being exposed in this Lego video, man. You're literally being exposed with a fucking AI Lego video, man. This is where we're at. That's bugged out.
Yeah. Yeah. Make America great again. Yo, Tails, this shit crazy. Yeah. Make America great again now. We will see what happens, yeah. Watch this. Sacred defense, we protecting the soil. Why you sacrifice soldiers to pay for your spoil? You surrender blow. Sitting on your throne, now we turning every base into a bed of stone. It's a slaughterhouse, a trap you couldn't see. Welcome to the graveyard of your vanity. The secrets are leaking.
I like that part where he's like, your secrets are leaking, and it's just the Epstein files leaked, and then he starts looking all worried.
The pressure is rising. We locked on the target. Breaking fucking.
That was funny, bro. Then I like this one too. This one is hilarious.
We've achieved our goals with Iran. I hope they'll negotiate. The war is finished.
Since you're attacking us, can you give us a question? Since you're, Mr. President-elect, go ahead.
The war is finished, and then he's on his way to the war room to go continue the war. Man, Esau's prideful.
We have to strike. What's your plan?
Iran must be divided.
Salakia, bro. These devils are trying to save face. I'm not even gonna play that last video, but I want to look up what does saving face mean? Maybe there's some brothers and sisters out there that don't know what it means. Says saving face means preserving one's dignity, reputation, or respect, especially in situations of embarrassment, criticism, or conflict. And that's what Esau Edom is doing right now before the whole world. They're losing the narrative. Nobody's really supporting the war right here in America. There's a lot of people. I was looking at a news article and it was saying that only 20% of Americans support the war in Iran. And that was about a week ago. How much more now, a week later? That's probably now down to 15%. Everybody, the public opinion towards this war is very low. There's no public support. So the people on the ground, the population is not supporting Donald Trump. A lot of them are complaining because they cannot afford gas right now. And there's a lot of different countries like in Southeast Asia that are being told to stay home because there's no longer any gas going to them. So, hey man, right now what America has done with this war, they're fucking up global economies. They're messing up other people's countries and they're messing up their public support in America. And their soldiers are dying and you're being exposed before the whole world and you're really trying to save face. Now I want to play this video because he basically summarizes in 10 minutes everything that's been going on, and I'm probably gonna not play the whole video, all right? But that's what this devil's trying to do right now. They're trying to save face during a very embarrassing global a moment. You're literally being embarrassed before the whole world. But what are they doing? Let's play this video.
Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump declared victory about 3 weeks back. He said, we won the war. And it's been 3 weeks after that. Every day he comes and says, we won the war. His tone has changed. He's no longer sounding as confident. And now he's gone down to straightforward abuse. Every single day.
And that's really crazy when you think about it. 3 weeks ago, he was telling the world, we're winning, we're winning, we're winning. But you're not winning. Gas was $5 the other day when I pumped gas. What are you talking about, man? Nobody's supporting you. Your allies are turning on you. You're trying to save face. That's really what Donald Trump is doing. It says right here, Obadiah 1:3, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down? And that's the mentality that Esau Edom has. They really believe in their mind that they're not going to be brought down. Their whole attitude towards their allies and the rest of the world and through this war is basically in their mind. They really believe, who's going to bring me down to the ground? I'm still at the top. I'm still the greatest country ever. We're winning. But you're not winning. You're lying. You're blaming Pete Hegseth. Then you're blaming Marco Rubio. Then you're blaming this person. Then you're blaming that person. Whose fault is it? It's your fault. You're the president. You're the head of the country. What the fuck are you talking about, man? Donald Trump is a fucking dumbass. All right? And the pride of their heart has deceived them. These Edomites are making decisions that the whole world is criticizing now, and you're being exposed. It's hilarious, man. You got Iran making AI videos talking about you sacrificing your soldiers, bro. That's crazy. Your secrets are being exposed. Epstein files leaking. You're telling the world you're winning when you're really not winning. The pride of your heart has deceived you. You're deceiving your own self. Really, you're trying to save face because you're embarrassed. All right? When somebody that embarrasses people starts to get embarrassed themselves, it doesn't feel very nice. All right? Donald Trump back then, if you ever watched any of his shows, he was that one guy, that celebrity TV show star that would just fire somebody and embarrass them on TV. And now he's in a position of a leadership of the so-called strongest, greatest country on earth, but you're being exposed for how dumb you are. Now you're being embarrassed. Now the world is telling you you're fired, nigga. You wanted to, you know? You used to fire people, now the world wants to fire you. Okay, now you're being embarrassed, telling the world you're winning the war when you're really losing.
He's using worse words. Sometime back, he put out a tweet. He said that NATO countries are cowards. And that's only because several NATO countries are not fully aligned with his effort, because they're willing to defend the interests of their people. And because they do not believe that this campaign has been done while taking enough care of the consequences of long-term engagement without an end game in mind.
Hey, and that's another thing too. That goes back to the scriptures, because it tells you right here in Daniel 7:20, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. And that's talking about America. America is that country whose look is more stout, more proud than their allies, their fellows. America is telling their own NATO allies and their own EU allies, European Union allies, that they're cowards. Okay? Think about that. And then, in the same breath as he calls them cowards, he's begging for their help. That's crazy, bro. America, who has been the hammer of the earth for the past, man, America was established in 1776. In a couple of months is going to be 250 years. So America has been the bully of the world for over 300 years, man. Because before it was established in 1776, they were going to war as the 13 colonies with the Spanish, the French, and the British. And that's how the 50 United States of America were established. And that's why these American Edomites feel entitled. They feel as though they fought for this. They feel as though they destroyed all these Gadites. They destroyed the Native Americans. They destroyed the Mexicans. They destroyed the black people, enslaved them, put us through all this harsh, all this harsh, terrible slavery, chattel slavery to build up this country. All right. And the way that they talk to their allies is as if they look down on them. America looks down on the British. America looks down on the Spanish and the French and the Germans and the rest of their Edomite counterparts, and they really do feel like that. All right. And the European countries, they hate Americans. So that's very prophetic that that beef is increasing between NATO and America, between America and the EU countries. All right. Their look is more stout than their fellows. This is a very proud country. And the way that they talk to their allies, eventually they're going to turn on this whore. The scriptures tell you that the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore and burn her with fire. That we're about to see that very soon, and we're seeing the escalations of it. We're seeing allies turn on America. That's all prophecy, man. This is Revelate Salakia. I just burped Salakia. This is Revelation 17:16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, which America is the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So what we're seeing transpire in these last days is the allies of America now turning on her, criticizing her actions, exposing her before the whole world, trying to set up themselves economically to get away from the dollar, to get away from certain contracts, and ultimately they want to get away from the relationship that they have with the whore. They're tired of America. America's look is more stout than their fellows. They're very proud and they hate dealing with this country. They hate it. All right. And their countries are suffering because of it. So they're positioning themselves because of their hate towards the whore. They're positioning themselves trying to divorce themselves from the whore. All right. America is starting to get hated by their allies, and very soon it's going to result in nuclear destruction. All right. Your allies are turning on you, man. They're getting tired of you.
So he said in a post on Truth Social, the NATO countries are cowards. That is only language of a man who has lost the plot. Yes, Donald Trump has lost the plot. As I said, he declared victory just a while back, posting on Truth Social that America has won.
We're winning.
Pete Hegseth said, "We fight to win." But is this really a win that the US is scoring?
This is Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. We're watching these devils get more prideful than ever. They're getting back in that 1400 spirit where they feel entitled to the world and conquering the world and rape, robbing, murdering everybody and engaging in endless warfare and taking peace from the earth. No. Your pride, the pride that is brewing up right now amongst you Americans, and especially amongst Esau Edom and his cabinet and Congress, that pride is really brewing up before your destruction. We're seeing the last hoorah of these Edomites. Okay? We're watching their horns come out because they're about to be destroyed. They're about to fall. Their country is about to be destroyed by Yahweh. Okay? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh is about to judge this place. And that's why their pride is at an all-time high. Pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. They're telling the world, we're winning. We're winning. You're not winning. You're losing. And your allies hate you. And you're being exposed on Lego videos. Okay? They're dissing you, man. The whole world is dissing you. That shameful spewing is on your glory. Sheesh.
On the ground, the situation is extremely different. Gas prices in the United States have crossed $4 per gallon, making it one of the highest markups in history. And let me read out some of the headlines. Reuters says rising gas prices are sharply hitting US household finances and more pain is expected. The Wall Street Journal says Saudi Arabia sees a spike of $180 oil if this energy shock persists past April. The Wall Street Journal says work from home, carpool, and fly less to combat soaring oil prices, the IEA says. This is all there in the global and the American media. And while this is going on, we're also seeing a splendid isolation of America. An America without friends. The cracks in the United States of America.
Even he's noticing it, man. Everybody, a splendid isolation of America. That's prophecy. That's prophecy. America is isolating themselves before the war, before their allies. Their allies are no longer messing with you, man. They don't like you. They hate you.
An America without friends.
An America without friends. You don't have no friends. You're calling on your allies. Come help me. We need help. And they're denying you. They don't want to help you. They said, nah, bro, we good. You got it, fam.
The cracks in the United States' global standing are no longer subtle. They are embarrassingly visible.
Ooh.
Countries which used to be strong allies of the United States have now begun to slowly distance themselves, and I predict more of them will be, because this strategy that the Americans have had is causing them sheer discomfort. Yesterday, during a press conference with the Japanese Prime Minister, Trump made really arrogant remarks, making her extremely uncomfortable, and he made a ridiculous joke about Pearl Harbor, and he said, We went in very hard. We didn't tell anybody because we wanted surprise. Who knows surprise better than Japan? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? He asked.
Man, so this dude cannot read a room. He's just an asshole, man. Who makes jokes like that? And then at a very delicate time right now, you're literally being criticized for everything that you say, okay? But he feels so comfortable to make remarks like that. It really shows you how prideful these Edomites are and how arrogant and just stupid they are, man. These Edomites cannot read a room. Who says things like that, man? You know, making jokes about Pearl Harbor and like, damn, what are you doing, man? He could have, surprisingly, he didn't make a joke about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, man. But that's kind of what he was insinuating by bringing up Pearl Harbor, because that whole situation with Pearl Harbor was what led to them dropping them bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So this dude cannot read a room. Edomites are that stupid. There could be somebody so uncomfortable, but Esau, they will not notice that. This dude is an asshole, man. Edomites are assholes. They're a bunch of arrogant, prideful, lying assholes that turn red in the sun and when you smack them, and they get scared when real conflict comes. You're trying to save face, Trump, but it's not working, okay? Neuro is about to do something that Neuro always does, man. Some stupid shit. They're gonna blame somebody. Because what did Nero do in Rome? He burnt down Rome and then blamed the Israelites. What do you think Donald Trump is getting ready to do? He's trying to save face. It's not working. He's getting ready to set up something to blame somebody just to save face and make himself look like the hero, man.
The Japanese Prime Minister, he kept repeating, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Because you believe in surprise, I think, much more than us. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no seriousness this gentleman has, Donald Trump. Because as he was making that Pearl Harbor remark, just look at the visuals and look at the body language. Let's play the video of the Japanese Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi. Her slight smile appeared to drop. She raised her eyebrows. She appeared very uncomfortable with that remark. Even before going in for the meeting, she had described the meeting as expected to be very difficult. But the way he said it was not just masquerading arrogance. I think I have the soundbite. It was arrogant. Just look at this.
Well, one thing you don't want to signal too much. You know, when we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay? Right? You know.
If you look at that body
she did
language,
not
ladies and
laugh.
gentlemen, the Japanese Prime Minister just wanted to get out of that room. She didn't even want to sit with that rude man anymore. In fact, the entire world is...
Man, Esau is so classless. Like, let's look up that word, classless. These people think they're so they have the highest etiquette, the best IQ. They're so smart, so wise. You're such a classless individual, man. It says a classless person is not showing obvious signs of belonging to a particular class. But I'm trying to get like the more the more bogus definition. Let's look up etiquette. Antonyms. It says the antonyms of etiquette include rudeness, impropriety, indecency, and bad manners. That's who Esau is. He's like a child, man. A child doesn't really know when they're being rude or when they're being impatient or when they have bad manners. All right, children are very, they're children, man. But these Edomites in their grown age, they show a lack of etiquette. They're rude, they're indecent, and they always have bad manners. It says other less common antonyms include discourtesy, coarseness, and vulgarity, all of which it says all of which emphasize different aspects of socially inappropriate or offensive behavior. So these are very offensive things that Esau Edom is doing before the world. One of the things that the scriptures say is that pride is hateful before God and man. Let's get that verse. This is Sirach 10 and 7. It says, pride is hateful before God and man, and by both does one commit iniquity. So pride is something that not only does the Most High Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai hate, but is also something that's very hateful before man. Okay, and the whole world is really starting to see how prideful these devils are, how indecent and rude and arrogant and prideful and stupid and hateful and racist they are, man. Esau has got to go. And it's so lovely watching them get exposed for the devil that they really are, man. All right? These people have no etiquette. They're just classless, man. No class. Just, man, just terrible, man. Esau is a child, a walking child that turns red in the sun. You're not white, you're red. You're the biblical Edomites, and you're on your way to fall.
Bordering on beyond frustration as far as Trump is concerned. Look at French President Macron. His statement further accentuates how US allies are totally pulling away from Trump. He said on March 17th categorically that France will escort ships in Hormuz only once the situation is calmer. That is a clear prerequisite that he's putting out there. How long before other countries demand a truce? Look at Sanchez of Spain. Look at the straightforward language that he's spoken to Trump. No country is willing to give in. Now, what is really happening? What is really happening is because Trump first didn't have any clear calculation. And then now, as 3 weeks goes into a month, he's realized Iran is not giving him an off-ramp. An off-ramp, ladies and gentlemen. An opportunity to do some clandestine deals, backroom diplomacy, fight in front of the people, before the cameras, but do a deal on the side.
Yeah, this guy, he wants to look like the hero. And America has always had that issue of wanting to look like this American hero, this Hollywood story movie hero where the president comes to save the day. All right, that's been dead. Okay? They want to be showing their country and their people in their country that they're doing all these different actions by dropping bombs, destroying this, destroying that. Especially when you go on their Twitter page, you got, videos on Twitter with the American military, and then you got rap music on the video, man. So they're trying to make themselves look cool, like they're some raw people. But you ain't cool. All right, you're trying to make yourself look like the hero and then do deals on the side. But Iran told you that we ain't making no deals with you. All right. There was another post. I forgot who posted it. But it said, Trump says that Iranians are sitting down to make a deal, but Iranians say otherwise. So this dude is just lying to the world, man. He's trying to make himself look like the hero, but you're looking dumb. You're looking stupid, man. It's so funny, bro. You know? And Salakia that I keep pausing, and we're barely 5 minutes into the video. I'm probably going to end this soon.
And Trump, ladies and gentlemen, was known to be the author of The Art of the Deal, remember? That's how he positioned himself. The tough guy who sets terms. The reality TV star who says, you're fired, and throws people off the set. The man who holds all the cards, as he told Zelensky when he met him. You hold no cards, Mr. Zelensky, he told him. I hold all the cards.
You hold no cards, I hold all the cards. I hold all the cards, you can't do nothing without me. And now you can't do nothing. You're asking for all this help. You even asked China to help you. You asked China to help you, and you were putting tariffs on China, bro. You're looking dumb, man. You're looking stupid. The art of the deal. Get out of here.
The art of the deal, the art of firing people, the art of holding all the cards. But lately, he finds himself in a situation
Man,
where
look
he's
how ugly he is, man. Let's zoom in on this. What the? Look at him, bro. What is that? That's Esau right there, man. This is the man? Is this the man that made the earth to tremble and made the earth as a wilderness? This is him? This is the devil, Esau Edom, that was given power to take peace from the earth. We're looking at a biblical Edomite on the screen. They were literally given, the earth was given into their hands, and now we're living in a time where the earth is about to be taken away from their hands and the right rulership is about to come on earth, man. Okay, let's get that, because you Edomites are done, man. The world is tired of you Edomites. All right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 10. And just to get straight to the point, this is Sirach 10 and 8. It says, or you know what? Let's read up. This is Sirach 10 and 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. And the one that is profitable is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, his real name being Yahushai. And Yahushai, who is the anointed Hamashiach, he's going to come to set up a profitable, prosperous kingdom on earth. He is the Messiah spoken of in the scriptures, the Prince of Peace that's going to establish the kingdom of heaven here on earth. Okay, and very soon, all kingdoms are going to be given unto him. All right, he's going to rule over the earth. And when he comes back, the ruler that's going to be destroyed by him are you Edomites. And he's going to do that by destroying Babylon the Great, which is America, and this whole Edomite power structure. Because once America goes down, this whole Edomite power structure is going to fall with America from the NATO and the EU. All right, we're already seeing it fall apart. All right, those tiny tops, that's going to get destroyed as well. But the only difference is that the land of Israel is going to get built up, but America is going to be a desert. So we're in the times where the Lord is about to set up a profitable ruler that's going to rule forever, which is Yahushai. And the tables are turning on you devils. This is verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Okay, so there you have it. The Lord is about to flip the tables and translate the kingdom to another people, which are the Israelites. All right, the rightful rulers of this earth that were prophesied through the scriptures to have dominion of this earth. The scriptures tell you that the saints shall take the kingdom. All right, and we're gonna take the kingdom when Yahushai comes back. So you Edomites are done. All your unrighteous dealings are being exposed. Your injuries, your endless wars, your riches got by deceit, all this chattel slavery that you partook in to build up this country, it's all going to be destroyed, man, when Yahushai comes back, and the kingdom is going to be translated from one people to another. You're going to go back to being a base man, all right? You're going to go back to being nothing, all right? This is Baruch 4 and 31. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. This is talking about Babylon the Great. You are miserable because you afflicted us and you rejoiced at our fall. You took our children and made them serve with rigor. You are miserable because you received our sons, the sons of Jerusalem. All right, the Israelites, you touched the apple of the Lord's eye, and you're going to be judged for that. Verse 33, for as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad at thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. These Edomites were happy when we fell as a nation. They rejoiced at our fall. When we fell, they laughed at it. They said, aha, is this not the day that we have looked for? In the book of Lamentations, the 2nd chapter, they were waiting for our downfall, man. And when we finally fell, they said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. They were rejoicing at our fall. And now we're gonna do the same. We're rejoicing at your exposing. We're rejoicing at the fact that you're falling apart, and we're rejoicing at biblical prophecy playing out, because you're about to fall, Esau. Straight up, you're done. It says, verse 33, for as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad at thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. Think about that. This pride that they have on them is about to be turned into mourning. And how is that going to happen? At the destruction of Babylon the Great. Once this country gets destroyed, that's going to be the end of your pride right there. America is the pinnacle of Edomite pride, man. This is what gives them that pride, to feel like they're the best, most greatest people ever, but you're not. You were really set up for prophecy. You were set up to bring the end and to show the power of the Lord. Just like how the Lord raised up Pharaoh, he raised up Esau, Edom, the basest of all men, to be destroyed in these last days, man, and to show his power through this destruction. It says, verse 35, for by fire, it says, for fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. And that links up with that Isaiah, man. All right, that Isaiah, the 13th chapter, that goes into how this is going to be a desert. This place is going to be inhabited, by nothing by, desert creatures and so on and so forth, man. When this fire comes up upon Babylon the Great to destroy it, hey, these people are literally gonna be through, man. Their pride is gonna be turned into mourning. It says verse 36, and this is the prophecy that's playing out right now with this word going out. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from God. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west, by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. And that's what's going on right now. Before the whole world, we're being gathered by the good news, by the word. And that's why one of the greatest things that's happening right now, as the sons of Israel are being gathered by the word, and this good news is going out, and we're being edified on Yahushai and how important his sacrifice is for us as a nation. One of the things that we're also witnessing is the downfall of our enemies. Because as we wake up, one of the other things that we're finding out is that our enemies are liars. All right? This is one of Elder Malcolm's favorite scriptures. This is Deuteronomy 33:29. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by the Lord, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency. And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. And that's what's going on right now, man. Now that we understand the truth and we understand this word, and we're being gathered by the word, we're finding out that our enemies are liars, and we're treading upon their high places by pushing out this word, pushing out this good news. And very soon that we're actually gonna tread on their governments, on their high places, man. When Yahushua comes back, he's gonna come to destroy all these power structures, man. But right now, We're witnessing the exposing of our enemies. We're seeing that they're liars. Okay? Esau, Edom, you're being embarrassed before the whole world. And even your own people. Your own people are realizing that they've been fed nothing but lies. The scriptures talk about how they shall complain of an ungodly father. That's you, Edomites. You're finding out how ungodly and wicked and prideful and crazy you really are as a nation, and you're being exposed line upon line, scripture upon scripture, here a little and there a little. It's over with, man. So, hey, man, we're in some very great biblical times, man. We're watching the downfall of Esau, Edom. We're watching the downfall of 2/3. We're watching the downfall of Keisha. We're watching the downfall of everybody at this point. All right. So with that, Lord willing, I'm gonna leave it off right there. Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles, bishops, and elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom and abad babal. Wakwam Yasharallah.